Welcome inside the Seawolf Spotlight. I'm Rontina McCann, joined by Rashmi Prasad, the Dean of the College of Business and Public Policy. And tell us what your programs have to offer.
Well, we have a great deal to offer. We're the largest business school in the state. So we have 2,300 students enrolled at any one time. And if you think of it this way, really it's very hard to get very far in a business if you don't have a bookkeeper, an accountant, an information technology pro, a supply chain or purchasing agent. We train, develop, educate them all. So we really provide critical fuel for the Alaska economy. If we weren't there, the Alaska economy would suffer.
And you answered the question I was going to ask. How does this really help Alaska? You know, Alaska's changing and growing so much, especially in the business world. How does having those students prepared and ready help out the state?
Well, first, it's the workforce. If you have to import a worker from the lower 48, first, they're not Alaskans, they're not as committed, and they're much more expensive. If you have a local person trained, educated, developed, they're much more likely to be a good hire, a hire at a reasonable price, and every business is looking for good workers. The item that's in shortest supply is a really good worker, a good manager, a good professional, and we produce those. So it's really critical for the day-to-day running of the state. You did mention the future, and we are at a very critical time in the Alaska economy's history. So actually our college has to do more and initiate more to help start new businesses or support new businesses through business incubators or any number of programs.
And what type of majors can students major in your school?
We have 7 principal majors. You can get a bachelor's degree in any of the major disciplines like economics. We have an outstanding economics program, really first rate. Finance, accounting, marketing, management, property management, and also logistics and supply chain. So we have quite a range of education. The business world is very diverse, and you can get a flavor or feel for almost all of it. That's in our bachelor's degree. We also have 3 master's degrees. Of course, our MBA program, which we're very proud of, Master of Business Administration. We also have a Master of Science in Global Supply Chain Management and a Master of Public Administration, because we actually have the public policy side of our college too. We need to have really good people in government also.
And how are your students involved in campus, not just within their major in school, but also extracurricular? I know lots of different athletes also are business majors and people here on campus.
So our students are involved in campus life quite a bit, and they're also involved in community life. Just to give you an example, our students are always doing consulting projects through classes. A class I taught myself, the students actually worked on the business plan for this arena that we have right now. So we had a number of students who were getting their MBAs. They were also student athletes, and they worked on an excellent feasibility study for how a business plan for this great arena would work. So, but students are involved all over campus. We have, again, as I said, we have many student athletes, so we have close ties with the athletic department. In addition to that, we go out into the community. One of the really neat things we're doing this year, this term, is a program we call Dot Coders with Clark Middle School. Clark Middle School, which is in Mountain View, one of the largest middle schools in town. At the same time, there's a real short supply of information technology professionals. Our banks and other companies can't hire enough IT people. And you really have to get started early. So a professor of ours in information technology, he saw this TED Talk about the window in the wall, about how poor kids in India learned about computers just from having a computer stuck in a wall where they could interact with it. So he's using this really innovative methodology to get 7th and 8th graders interested in programming. So we're really encouraged and we're excited. And so in fact, we've got other partnerships with Clark Middle School in particular, but we're involved in the community in so many ways, whether it's helping small businesses that might be victims of fraud to undertake fraud examinations, which they couldn't afford on the market. So we do an awful lot of community service. We are engaged in the community, and campus life, very much. You'll see business students everywhere on campus.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I got to ask you, one last question. What's your favorite part about being a Seawolf? So much going on in your school.
The absolutely favorite part for me is, since I was a professor for so many years, is actually meeting alumni, meeting students who I taught in class, and having them come 5 or 10 years later and reflect on what it meant for them. And that's really heartening, and it's the most satisfying experience I have here
Well,
at the university.
Thank you so much. A great reason to continue to do what you do, I'm sure.
Oh, by all means, thank you very much.
And we'll be back with more on the GCI channel after this.